Hey, what is up? It's Dean Soto, prosulum.com, prosulum.com, and we're walking around today. Yep. Walking around because I had to go bring the van in. If you don't know, I have 7 wonderful kids, so we have to bring a bus pretty much everywhere we go when we're taking them, and one of the things that happened was the air conditioning went out. It was leaking. It was leaking power, and that's what we're going to talk about today. It was actually leaking. There was a vacuum. There's like a vacuum tube in these Ford E350 vans where if there's a hole for whatever reason, the hole just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it continues to leak. And while we could feel the air up front, nobody could feel the air out in the back. And if we were going uphill, it would completely just strip out it would actually stop working altogether. So before I get into all of this, make sure to subscribe. If you haven't checked out Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, that's the podcast as well. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel because we got a lot more stuff coming. So this actually happened quite a while ago, but today is when I actually had to go and get it fixed. I had to go to the mechanic last week, schedule a time to come in this week, and this particular mechanic I had gone before. Where I'm at, there's literally 3 mechanics only within like a 25-mile radius. And so these 3 mechanics, I had gone to this one that I actually dropped off the car at. This, he was the very first one that I had seen because he's pretty much out there. He's got the best advertising. He's right as you drive and so on. So I went, and pricing was totally reasonable and everything. But the problem was I had some kind of issue come up. I forgot what the issue was, but the issue was that it needed attention now, because it was either that or we wouldn't be able to go somewhere. It was like a trip or something like that. Well, he was booked solid for like a month. Was not going to happen, right? Was not going to happen. Well, ended up finding a different mechanic over here. Just a 1-person shop. He's super detailed, nice guy, very dry, very dry sense of humor as well, but definitely more expensive. This air conditioner at this guy, the 1-person shop who took care of me like that, the air conditioner at the 1-person shop was going to cost about $1,000 to fix. The air conditioner here at this the shop that I just dropped it off at is going to cost about $200 to fix. Big difference, because they definitely do things a little bit different just in general. Because so why the big difference? Well, one of the mechanics wanted to rip out pretty much everything to be able to fix this thing. The one that's doing it for cheaper, he's actually just installing. I keep on saying actually, guys. Actually, he's going to just install this thing and run a hose to where the air conditioner is, so it solves the same issue, solves the same problem. But here's the thing: is no matter what, well, here's the thing with him is that right now I'm not even sure if my van is going to be done for the next few hours, maybe even tomorrow. And this is why I went to this other mechanic in the first place. But all that being said and done, all that being said, the big issue with my van, is that it's leaking power. It's leaking air. It's leaking what would normally cool us down, right? And a lot of us are leaking power. A lot of you are leaking power, I'm leaking power, and it's in ways that we don't even know. Okay? Ways that we don't even know. So for example, what's recently been happening with me is I've been focusing way more on my body. That is something that came up through this one Have It All assessment that I'm going through with Wake Up Warrior. And I'm like, really? That's where I need to focus on my body? I thought it was gonna be my business. This is the reason why I bought this course or this training in the first place. I thought it was gonna be for business. Well, over the last 2 weeks, I've been just focusing on my body, and guess what? Basically closing 2 deals. My team are closing 2 of my biggest deals ever, at least in the history of Prosulum, in our virtual assistant capacity. And the cool thing is that they are the ones that have closed it. I've not touched those deals at all. But because I've been focusing so much on myself and my body and my family, it's given me the space to allow them to do what they need to do and give them also the tools, and systems and processes necessary for them to do this stuff. So literally they closed, I should say, one of the deals wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for me bringing it up. But so it was kind of half closed by my guys. But one of the deals was totally 100% closed by my guys. They got on the phone. These are people in the Philippines getting on the phone with with clients that are brand new clients. Some of these are brand new clients. Getting on the phone with them, talking with them, selling them, sending them the invoices, everything like that. I did absolutely nothing. And are my guys going to get a nice little bonus? Yes, they will get a nice little bonus for doing this. But had I been worrying so much about my business, this would not have happened in the same way at all. I already know it 100%. It would not have happened. I would have been way more involved. I would have been stepping on my guys' toes. And this way it gives the perception that we're a bigger company too, since I'm not a part of this whole thing. I mean, I'm the president of the business, right? Here are my account managers and my general managers and senior account managers who are handling all of this. Only time I need to come in is when it's like a really strategic partnership or something like that. So because I've focused on my body, because I focused on my balance, or balance in Wake Up Warrior terms, if you go to Wake Up Warrior, you can check all that out and find out what the lingo is there, but balance is your family. Because I'm focusing on my family with the van and with using the van as a means to go. We're going to go to Yosemite. We're going to go to Monterey Bay Aquarium. We're going to be going to all these different things that we normally wouldn't do on a regular basis. But we're going to go to all these different places because of focusing on these things. It's provided me the space. It's provided them the space. I have tons of energy. My wife loves that I'm focusing more on my body and the house and our home and building things and all that other stuff. Because of that, it's provided that space for my team to step up their game, to either step up or step out. And most of them will step up because they're amazing people, and they've already shown what happens when I trust them. They've already shown what happens when I give them a ton of responsibility, and they will be definitely rewarded for that. So, all that being said, what are you doing right now? Where are you leaking power? And the easiest way to kind of determine this, rather than taking an assessment from, Wake Up Warrior, easiest way to know this is, where are you spending most of your time right now? If it's constantly in business, if that's all you think about, all you do, and so on, and you're letting your body go, then you probably need to go and look at your body. If you don't pray at all, you don't have any meditation, you don't have any belief in God or anything like that, and you are doing zero of that, you probably want to go start looking in that side, because you're probably leaking energy there as well. You know, if your family is not the number one priority, and we always say the family's number one priority, but if you're only giving them, you know, a half hour, maybe an hour a day, probably leaking energy there. So here's my challenge to you: is this week, I want you to see where you're leaking energy and just shift for 1 week. Shift for 1 week and focus all your energy on that one other thing, and you'll see that because you patch the hole there, you're gonna start filling up. You're gonna start having energy to move the other things way more. So just 1 week, 7 days. 7 days. Patch that hole up and see how much energy and power you get by doing that. All right? All right, Dean Soto, Freedom in 5 Minutes is the podcast. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't gone to Freedom in 5 Minutes over on iTunes, Freedom in 5 Minutes, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all those different places. Go check that out, and we'll see you in the next episode.